That Sober Guy podcast contains adult content, merciless truth, and emotional nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
I'm Shane Ramey. You're listening to That Sober Guy podcast, and we help people stay sober. Good to be here today. Glad you're here too. You can check us out at thatsoberguy.com. Leave us a voicemail. You can send us a message through the contact form. If this is your first time tuning in, a very special welcome to you. Today's guest is someone very close to me, Mr. G Money, aka Gary Matthews. He just hit his 1 year sober this January. We're going to talk about how he did it, what it looked like before, and what it looks like today. And of course, as always, on this show, we like to have a little bit of fun and act like dickheads sometimes, and screw around a little bit, because what the hell is being sober if you can't have fun? So, of course, we're going to share some stories and do some of that too. Before we do all of that and get to Gary today, I just want to give a shout out and big thanks to Thomas and the team over at Exact Nature. They sent us a nice little care package of some premium CBD products to try out. So let me tell you a little bit about them. Exact Nature is run by people in recovery for people in recovery. The mission's pretty simple: provide top-notch THC-free CBD products and help people in recovery curb the cravings and, of course, stay sober. They use premium CBD, all natural ingredients, and they've been extensively researched and selected for the role that they can help you or maybe your loved one in a very important process when you're trying to stay sober, helping to curb addictive cravings, reducing anxiety, reducing depression. And this is a good one I think I overlook sometimes: improving sleep. I've had a tough time sleeping lately, and part of it is because my dog is like 12 and he wakes up every 2 hours to go outside and take a piss, which can be a little bit annoying, sometimes frustrating. And actually, I just thought about it. I haven't introduced Gary yet, but I'm going to do that in a minute. He's having some tough time sleeping too here lately as well. And we'll talk a little bit about why that is and congratulate him there. But in any case, if you want to learn more about Exact Nature CBD products for yourself, you want to try them out, go to exactnature.com. That's exactnature.com. I'll put all the links to everything we talk about today in the show notes to make it real simple for you. You can just go in and click on the links and go right there. One more thing before we get rolling. I just created That Sober Guy podcast Locals community. If you're saying, what the hell is Locals? Here's kind of what it is. It's Instagram meets Patreon. So kind of how it works. I couldn't figure out how the hell to explain it, so I just borrowed some verbiage straight from the app itself. It provides direct access to your creators, to their communities, the people that you like to follow, that you're into. For those listening, obviously, Sober Guy Podcast, a sober community. You get exclusive content, including videos. You can interact with other supporters in the community, some good fellowship, some good accountability there as well. And then the creators get to set the tone for kind of what goes in and out of the communities themselves. And here's the best thing. Here's kind of why I deleted all my shit and went over here. No behind the scenes censorship. They also don't sell your data like the other big tech companies do. And that's something I believe in. I believe very strongly in that, about freedom of speech, freedom of privacy, all that good stuff. And so the Locals app is a great place to set up, still be involved in social media, have a great place to be involved in a sober community and have some fun at the same time. So I'd love to have you join. There's plenty of free content. There's premium content as well. You can download the app at your app store, or you can just go to that soberguypodcast.locals.com. Once again, all those links are in the show notes. Yes, good stuff. Well, this has been a long time coming. I feel like I always knew that someday, Gary, you would do the podcast, and here we are. Today is that day. So welcome to the show, Mr. Gary Matthews. Love you, buddy.
Love you too, man. Thank you for thanks for having me, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah, scoot up on the mic just a little bit for me.
All right.
There you go. Are you a little bit nervous?
No,
I'm just going to break the ice right now. It's okay. It's okay to be a little bit nervous. Like, you don't every day just hop on a mic and start talking about shit that, is personal sometimes. And then also like with family. I was telling you last night at dinner, we had a great dinner. Shout out to the Matthews family, always putting it down with corned beef and cabbage and celebrating St. Patty's Day. All the family was there. We had a damn good time. It was great to see everybody. But you and I were sitting at the other end of the table and we were kind of chatting about just the differences of being sober and then talking about it, being open about it and stuff, and still having some fun with it. So I don't know. What are you thinking right now, dude? What's going through your mind? Let me hear it.
I'm just having about 4 fucking panic attacks right now. Nah, I'm chilling.
It's that yerba mate.
Yeah.
No,
I was on the way over here, man. I was arguing with myself, like, should I go? Should I turn around? You know what I mean? And that's just my anxiety, fucking with me. And it's one of those things that I just got to work with still to this day, even with alcohol not involved, you know what I mean? So
you dealt with anxiety. And a lot of people deal with anxiety, man. It's a pretty common thing. I feel like, especially today with like all the craziness in the world. But if you've never like personally experienced it, it's hard to explain sometimes, right?
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It's you're talking like full on blackouts, can't focus. That's the way I used to get, you know what I mean? And like I don't know, just the way it affects your life. I mean, things that you just get inside your own head and you just start thinking about stuff that's like, and then in the end you go through whatever you were worried about. Yeah. And you're just kind of like, what the hell was I tripping off of? You know what I mean? Like, I
remember Seth saying that to me one time. He said, sometimes I just step back and I'm like, Seth, is it really that big of a fucking deal? Right. And I've used that a lot of times. Like, man, Shane, is it really that? And usually it's not. Like, it's usually not. Let me back up really quick. I forgot to say something. Congrats on the new baby Emma. I got 3 kids. I got 3 kids.
I'm losing my mind.
That was what I was referencing when I said the sleep thing. Yeah. You were just telling me right before I hit record, like you and Karina, like new baby, 3 kids now. It's a little bit different. Like you forgot about the sleep patterns, dude. That's rough.
Yeah, that was. I mean, we were going into it like, oh, we have 2, we got this, and then we were just some things came up that we forgot, man. Just like sleep is one of them. Yeah, it's no more. You know what I mean? It's like she's up every 2 hours, and Karina's just a godsend. She just gets up with her, and doesn't really complain too much about it. But last night she got on my shit a little bit, but yeah, sleep's been hard to come by these days. And you're saying you had a weird dream the other night too. Yeah, I did.
A drinking dream. We talk about that. Yeah.
And I hadn't had one in a while, man. And it was a trip. Jess was in it. And let me just jump ahead a little bit. The best part about drinking dreams is waking up and being like, oh, okay, that was just a dream. You know what I mean? I'm chilling. But it was sorry, I lost my train of thought. The
Jess was in it, and
that's right.
She yelled. So, I guess I should have been clear too. Jess and Gary are brother and sister. So Gary is my brother-in-law. I don't think I said that up front, just for the record there. But Jess was in the dream.
Yeah, she was in the dream.
She put the smack down.
She did. Yeah, Jess is. She's
Fireball.
I love her to death, man. But she definitely rides my shit if I'm doing. She's always the one to ride my shit if I'm doing it. Let me. How do I say it? She calls me on my shit. Mm-hmm. That's what she does. And
she calls everybody
and the dream,
anything.
man, we were at the Pintel house. That's my folks' old house, and we were all partying, family event, and I don't know why, man, but I was just sitting there and I had a shot and I just took it, and then Jess was across the island in the kitchen and she just went off on me. And then my reaction to it was, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? I already did one. Yeah. And then in my dream, I remember feeling just like, God damn it, man, what did I do? What was that? What was that? And then you wake up and you're like, whew, thank God. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was just a dream, and I never, like I said, it's been a minute. When I first got sober, I was having some fucked up dreams.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, dude. It was just, I would wake up every night like, what the fuck was that all about? Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, and then it was just my mind probably working. It wasn't like, just blacked out, because that's
actually working.
Yeah. It wasn't full of beer and liquor, but I don't know, man. The dreams in the beginning were crazy and nuts, and
it's like the best thing though when you wake up and you're like, oh, thank God that was just a dream.
Oh yeah,
I feel you on that. Like that's something I'm scared of too, when they say like one drink is I can't even remember the saying now. I'm going to jack it all up, but something like 1 drink's not enough. 10 is too many, something like that. Totally slaughtered that. In any case, my point is,
right.
I know 1 is going to lead to like fucking death. That's what I think about for me. Like, just like, because just like you said in the dream, oh, fuck it. Whatever. Right. I'm all in now.
Right.
And that's something that is scary. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
to think about. So I'm just.
Well, because I know you and me both have, you know, back in our party days, dude, we never just stopped at alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, it was never enough for me, you know what I mean? Until I was either blacked out or whatever, you know, that was my goal, man. If I didn't black out on a weekend, then it wasn't a good weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
that's how you gauged it.
Right.
It's funny how there's like different, you know, there's different, we call it styles, I don't know what you'd call it, different levels, different, patterns, whatever. Right. Everyone's a little bit different. And like for me personally, I was never really of course I had blacked out before, but it was just a little bit different on my end. Same with Seth, right? Seth actually, Seth was a blacker outer though too.
Yeah.
Seth would get hammered.
The thing with you when you were drinking, man, is that I could never tell when you were drunk, and it fucked me up too, because we'd be all drinking together and we'd be drinking the same amount, and I would be the dumbass over there, you know, fucking up doing something stupid. The whole family's pissed off at me, and they're like, you know, I'm in there like, fuck, Shane was drinking the same as me, and you were just chilling. You know what I mean?
Chilling.
Yeah, you can
very maintainable. Like I don't know what it was. Like I could put on a good face, I guess, and I'd be drunk. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
I would hope so. Me and you were drinking the same, dude.
Well, we were talking last night with Jess at the table about how at the old, like, I don't know, 2 houses ago, back in the day, when we would be jamming out in the garage and then the girls would be inside and we'd all be drinking together, but I always had like a stash out in the fridge garage, you know, like some vodka or whatever. And so we'd kind of cut away there.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, a little bit later, we'd come back in and just be hammered.
Fucked up.
Yeah. And they'd be like, what happened to you guys? What do you mean?
Yeah, that was what I would always look forward to that. We'd get over there and have a couple beers in the kitchen with the girls and be like, yeah. And like, eventually we'd be like, you want to go jam?
Yeah.
Be like, yeah. But we knew, or at least I knew, all right, we're going to go get fucked up now.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny, like, we enjoyed making music and jamming and stuff. No doubt. We had a lot of good times for sure.
100%.
But when I look back on that, just kind of even what you're saying, there was an element to it that was just about drinking too, because it was fun to sit and drink and like release and let go, right? And escape. That's the word I like to use actually, is escape, like from whatever the hell it was that was going on, work, stress, like whatever. I mean, that was like the tool to relax and like have a good time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that was one thing I wanted to ask you, like when you got sober, like that connection to music was different for me, because it, like, I still love music, but I did it so much when I was drinking. Was it different for you? Like when you stopped, or was it still pretty easy to kind of jump in and just still play? And
yeah, I mean, by myself, yeah, I never really had an issue picking up the guitar or hopping on the piano and started just jamming.
I love when you play the piano too.
Right on.
Super good. Yeah, reminds me of Nani too.
Yeah, but you know, it does. Yeah, she definitely taught me everything I know about that. But dude, not to get off track, but what's fucking me up is I'll go on, the kids are on the YouTube and the TikTok and stuff, and we never had that, you know, but
the kids are on the YouTube and the TikTok. We're getting old, bro.
I know, it sucks. But, you know, I used to think I was all right at shit like guitar and piano and stuff like that. And then I go on and these kids will show me, oh, you know, Dad, check this out. And then I look at this, you know, 12-year-old kid busting out some Beethoven like it's nothing. And I'm like, man, I suck.
Got to practice a little bit. I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, to circle back on what you were saying, no, I don't really think it affected me playing music too much. You know what I mean? Maybe I could remember what I played the night before. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't like fucked up when I was playing, but it didn't really bother me too much to pick up a guitar or something like that and start playing. Yeah,
that's cool.
You know,
I know. I still enjoyed jamming a little bit too. Yeah. It's fun.
It is.
What? How many times did you try and get sober?
In my head, or like legitimately?
Both. I mean, well, I guess that's kind of I guess that could be almost two questions. And like, number one, did you always know you had kind of a problem?
Okay.
And then how many times did you actually like tried it? Because I know you had like a sponsor at one point, like back in the day. And
yeah, so that was when I got in trouble with the law.
The law.
And I had a court ordered. The judge tells you got to go to AA.
Yeah.
And do this. And then I ran into a buddy at the time when I was at AA, and I figured, well, fuck it, I'm gonna try, quit drinking. Why not? And I think I did about 3 months, but I wasn't for real, because at that time I didn't really think I had a real problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's more to suffice like the legal stuff and just kind of.
Yeah, it was just I don't know, man.
You just knew you weren't all in, basically.
Right. Yeah. I wasn't buying in, definitely. Yeah. And maybe because I don't really know the answer. It just wasn't the time. I was just, it felt good. Like I felt better, during those 3 months that I wasn't drinking. But
I remember that you looked better too.
And that's what people tell you that too, man. You look better. You just, it's better to be around you because, as well as everyone else, I'm not the best person to be around when I'm drinking, like, for sure. You don't know what
you do some funny stuff.
Well, yeah, to you. But so it was nice to hear, but that, back then it wasn't enough. And then the thing of it was too is I was lying to myself, telling myself it was just hard alcohol that fucked me up. You know what I mean? Like, I just got to stop drinking hard alcohol. And I even remember when I went back to drinking, I know exactly what it was. We were at the house and I was telling Karina, I was like, if I just stick to beer and wine, I'll be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the hard liquor that makes me do stupid shit, that gets me all riled up, that liquid courage, blah, 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 and so I was like, I'm going to, she's being a supporting wife that she is, she's like, well, yeah, you don't have not that she's an enabler or nothing like that, but she was just, trying to support me in what I was feeling at the time. And so I was like, I'm going to go get some wine. And I remember, man, on the counter, poured myself a glass of wine after that 3 months. And I was like, this will be fine. I'll just stick to beer and wine. And man, shit, it had to be like 4 or 5 months later, I was out at the bars again. Yeah. Just being a jackass,
That's funny. I didn't know wine did you back on that. I had the same experience with that, dude. Same thing. Yeah. Cause tried to quit a couple times before I finally did it for good. And after, I think I was almost 30 days, and I was like, well, you know what? I still have all my problems that I had before, and it's not the alcohol because I'm not drinking, and obviously I still have all the damn problems, so I'm just going to go back to drinking. Brilliant, right? And I went back to wine. It was I think it was on New Year's or something, and sure, same shit. Yeah. Didn't take long before I was back doing the same stupid stuff.
Why is it wine, man? Because it seems safer?
Because it seems safe. It's more, I'm drinking wine. Right, it's
sophisticated. It's in a tall glass.
Unless it's Carlos Rossi, like I like. I mean,
Well, mine was out of a box. So.
Yeah, box wine, Fetzer. I always remember that too. My parents back in the day, the 80s, box wine was huge, Hell
Yeah.
So it was white wine. I remember going to an old concert or something, and for some reason, box wine was there. I don't know if they brought it in the parking lot or whatever, but
yeah. Well, my parents used to have the box wine, and when it got down to where it was low in the box, they would just pull the bag out and then just set the bag on the table.
Yes, that's some OG shit. Oh, it's funny.
Hell yeah. But so to go back to your question, what was it? How, when did I know I wanted to get sober? Is that what it was?
Well, I kind of asked, did you always know that there was an issue there? And you kind of answered that already, but feel free to go back to it again if you want. But then the other thing was was there, you tried a couple of times before this last time where you were really at kind of your bottom and you really admitted I got a problem and I need to stop, you know what I mean? But it didn't just happen overnight, I guess is what I was getting at.
No. So the time where I did the 3 months, that was years ago, man. I can't remember exactly.
I think it was before even I got sober. I want to say, yeah.
Because I was, actually I was there with Seth. So it was right around when Seth, I think started to get sober, because I remember seeing him in some of the AA.
So it was about 10 years ago then, because Seth's been sober for right around 10 years, I think.
Yeah, because I was trying to think if Charlie was born yet or not, but I can't remember. It was right around that time. So yeah, that was a long time ago. But leading up to me getting sober this last year, I'd say about 2.5 years maybe before I would, it was starting to I knew like, okay, I got the problem. You know, the party was over. You know what I mean? I had kids now. I wasn't really hanging out with my friends very much.
Yeah.
You know, and then kind of the same, getting to that routine where, you know, I start lying to family members about drinking and like taking, I used to take my beer and I would drink a couple of them, whatever, then put the caps on and put them back into the fridge. So it didn't look like I was pounding as many.
Fill it up with water.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Lying to myself and everyone. But
yeah. The things we do, right?
Oh, shit,
to like
man.
get away with so we can drink more. And it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I say. It's just like, it's insanity sometimes, you know?
Yeah. And then, you know, there would be times where I'm sitting on the way home from work. I'd hit the gas station and I'd get two 24 ounces of the Racer 5s. And then I'd get a 6-pack of the Evil Cousin. I think that's what it was. I mean, I'm talking like hard beers, you know what I'm saying? But it was okay in my head because it was just beer, you know, it wasn't Jack Daniels,
wasn't hard alcohol
or nothing. And then I'd park and I'd pound the 2 Racer 5s and then go inside and then drink 2 or 3 of the Evil Cousins, like in front of Karina and you know, thinking, oh, I'm just having a couple of beers. But, you know, side note, I'm drinking,
you already had them.
You know, I already, it was. So that's when I started to realize like, okay, man, like this ain't right. And then a few times it'd be like middle of the week and I'd be laying in bed trying to go to sleep for work the next day. And, you know, I'd be telling myself like, God damn, you know, what am I doing? And then, and just out of nowhere, I would say to Karina, you know, I think I got a problem with alcohol.
Yeah.
And then her thing was always be like, well, you need to talk to Shane. Why don't you go talk to Shane? And I would think about it and I'm like, nah, man, that's too real. You know, if I go to Shane, then it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it's out in the open.
Right.
The secret's out.
Well, like, and then I had to stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
exactly.
I was like, man, I know I'm not, fuck that. I'm not stopping. You know, so so I was battling with that for a while. And then so the reason that I got sober, you want me to go on to that, I guess?
Yeah, let me do you mind if I stop you really quick? Because as you're saying this, and this is just like, I just pulled this up right now, it just made me think of something from the big book that I think is really important, and I think it really is a good time to read it right now. Yeah. I'm confident this is going to speak to somebody out there. I know it speaks to me. So this is from chapter 3 of the big book, and it really dives into exactly what we're talking about right now. Mm-hmm. So most of us have been unwilling to admit we were real alcoholics. No person likes to think he is bodily and mentally different from his fellows. Therefore, it's not surprising that our drinking careers have been characterized by countless vain attempts to prove we could drink like other people. The idea that somehow, someday, he will control and enjoy his drinking is the great obsession of every abnormal drinker. The persistence of this illusion is astonishing. Many pursue it into the gates of insanity or death. We learned that we had to fully concede to our innermost selves that we were alcoholics and suffered from a drinking problem. This is the first step in recovery. The delusion that we are like other people or presently may be has to be smashed. We know that no real alcoholic ever recovers control. All of us felt at times that we were regaining control, but such intervals, usually brief, were inevitably followed by still less control, which led in time to pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization. We're conceived to a man that alcoholics of our type are in the grip of a progressive illness. Over any considerable period, we get worse, never better. Okay, I was looking for something in particular, and I thought it came after that, but I may... Okay, here it is. Here, this is like some of the methods that we try. And I talk about this a lot, and I know you've experienced this too. That's why I wanted to get to this part. But like the switch off stuff, just like you were talking about, oh, I'm just going to drink beer. I'm just going to smoke weed. That was mine. I'm just going to go smoke weed. I'm not going to drink. And that would last for 2 weeks. Yeah. It's very common for this. So those out there listening too, like if you've tried this or you relate to this, here's right out of the big book what it says. Here are some of the methods that we have tried. Drinking beer only. Limiting the number of drinks, never drinking alone, never drinking in the morning, drinking only at home, never having it in the house, never drinking during business hours, drinking only at parties, switching from scotch to brandy, drinking only natural wines, agreeing to resign if ever drunk on the job, taking a trip, not taking a trip, swearing off forever, taking more physical exercise, reading inspirational books, going to health farms and sanitariums, accepting voluntary commitment to asylums. We can increase the list to infinitum. We do not like to pronounce any individual as alcoholic, but you can quickly diagnose yourself. Step over to the nearest bar room and try some controlled drinking. Try to drink and stop abruptly. Try it more than once. It will not take you long for you to decide if you're honest with yourself about it. It may be worth a bad case of jitters if you don't get a full knowledge of your condition. Okay. Point, but do you see what I'm kind of getting at there? Like that, dude, that fucking obsession of like trying to control it and trying to like trade off and go back and forth and like and tell yourself that you're fine, and then you're fucked one day. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, there's so much work that we put into it and we don't really realize it till we kind of step back and like take a look at it from an outside perspective, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, I don't know, man. You hit the nail on the head right there. It's just something that, I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Well, that obsession though, like the back and forth with it and like trying to quit, I guess we could make a point there, an argument that until you kind of go all in and admit and say like, man, and a lot of people don't want to say I'm an alcoholic. Like I don't really say that anymore, to be honest. And I know that rubs some people the wrong way, like in the program and stuff. I always say I have a problem with alcohol. Yeah. You know, I have a problem with addiction because I have a problem with alcohol. I got a lot of problems with a lot of shit other than just alcohol.
Right. Well, that's what you realize,
you know?
Right?
Yeah.
After a while,
so
like,
however you frame it up, you know, it's kind of irrelevant to me if you're doing the work and stuff. But, you know, I do know that bothers some people.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Like alcoholic, right? You always think of the guy under the bridge with the
totally,
bag, you know what I mean? And like, fuck, that's not me. But you know, it's just, you got to just, you know, how is it affecting you and in your life? You know,
well, how did it affect you? That's a great point. How did it affect you? I know you dealt with anxiety, work, like go into some of that.
Anxiety was huge, man. It was, starting to affect, like I never drank. I wasn't a big, you know, never drank at work. You know, I was, I don't like to use functional, but you know what I'm saying? Like I would get up on time. I was a good employee, or I am a good employee, you know, did my job, did what I was supposed to do. But man, it started towards the end there, started to affect my work because just the anxiety was so huge. And you know, along, like I use it lightly, but you know, the anxiety, it was just this nasty circle of just, the anxiety. And I knew, you know what I mean? Like I knew that I was drinking too much. I knew I had a problem. I knew I was powerless, you know what I mean? And it had control of me. And that was making me just down on myself. You know what I mean? Just pissed off at who I was, pissed off. And then, you know, so it was just this vicious circle of, I would drink to get those thoughts out of my head. And then in the morning when I woke up, it was just there again. Yeah. It never went away. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, but yeah, so the anxiety was like, man, I'd never experienced, and you're exactly right, man. It's hard to explain what anxiety really feels like unless you've experienced it. You know, it's something that for me, just completely takes over my mind and body, and I'm unable to focus. I'm unable to be who I am, and it totally just, you know.
Do you feel like you've started to learn who you are since you got sober?
Yeah.
Like genuinely learn who Gary Matthews is. You know what I'm saying? Like somewhat?
Yeah.
Or growing in that?
I still got a lot to learn.
Yeah, me too, bro. Me too.
You know what I mean? I'm a confused, complicated guy.
But you're better off now than you were a year ago.
Oh, 100%.
My point. Like once you start to thaw out and you actually feel, right? Because that's what we just bury those layers and layers upon shit we're not dealing with. Right. You start to feel, and then like you start to like learn like who you really are. Like, oh man, like I actually felt that, or I like this, or you know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool, dude. Have you felt that a lot of that in the last year?
Yeah, I have. You're right. Just feeling in general, you know, being able to experience things and be like, okay, you know, react to them without being hungover or being drunk, you know, and then you're like, okay, you learn a lot of new things about yourself. Some are good, some are bad. You know what I mean?
Totally.
They're not, it's not all great, you know, like, man, I'm really kind of an asshole when it comes to that. That's something I need to work on, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely learn a lot about yourself, and it's just, you know, it's a good feeling, man. It really is. I don't want to say I got complete control over the anxiety, but when I stopped drinking, I was able to, the biggest thing is I was able to kind of cope with it, kind of learn from it. You know what I mean? If that kind of makes sense. Like when I felt it come on, you know, when I was drinking, there was always alcohol in my blood. There was always something. And then I knew like, oh shit, man, maybe I'm hungover. This is why I'm feeling this way. And you know, I don't want to say that stopping drinking completely got rid of it, but I was able to, like you said, learn a little about myself and be like, okay, this is how I'm going to deal with this situation right now. And then if you feel that anxiety coming on and you feel like, oh man, you know, I'm about to freak out, you're able to use kind of those tools that you've created for yourself. Yeah. You know, and, you know, when you, in my situation, when I was able to stop drinking, it kind of builds this confidence. Like, man, you know, you've achieved something. Like I feel you feel good about yourself. And, that kind of, you know, helped with the demons that were, you know, oh, you're a piece of shit because you're drinking all the time. You know, it's kind of the reverse effect, if you will. You know what I mean?
Did you hear a lot of that stuff?
What's that?
Or did you have a lot of those feelings, you know, like of inadequacy? You're not good enough. You didn't do this the right way, or any, you know what I'm saying? Like just self-deprivation type of stuff, dude, because like we talked about last night, like that cycle, you just get in that cycle, dude. And it's really tough to deal with, you know?
Yeah. It was me beating myself up.
Yeah,
you know
totally.
What I mean, that's what that was. And
like your own worst enemy. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And then, you know, I used to think, oh, other people know that I was fucking drunk last night and they think I'm a piece of shit, but people don't fucking care. Yeah. It's just you.
Most people just care about themselves. 100%. So they don't fucking care.
And you realize that later on, you know, when you stop drinking and I'm like, this motherfucker didn't care if I was drunk or not. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was me fucking with myself and my own
all
head.
up in our heads,
you
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's that little committee up there, just going back and forth, you know?
Hell yeah.
You suck.
Yeah.
You suck, Raymer. Big Bill.
You suck.
Love Big Bill. You suck, Raymer. You suck. So let's talk, actually, and speaking of Bill, I love your dad, dude. He's like a father to me.
Yeah.
Hard worker, just gets after it, man's man. Yeah, I mean, works. Shit, he just had knee surgery, and if he could help it, he'd be up fucking climbing a ladder right now. You know what I mean? He's up freaking walking around the house last night. So funny, dude.
What did he have it like 3 days ago? And he
had it like less than a week ago, and he's already trying to move around and wants to go back to work and shit. And, but I admire the the drive there and the accountability and the need to take care of his family. And I just love him. I love him a lot, dude. And I know that as a father to you, you know, you've looked up to him, and he, you know, you're an electrician. So that's kind of where I was going with this. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about work, like what you do. Yeah. Has your sobriety had any effect on any of the guys at work, or do you have anyone there that you talk to it about? And then of course with your dad too, I mean, he kind of brought you up in the, you know, becoming an electrician and showing you the ropes and showing you, you know, what it is to work hard and that kind of stuff, dude. I mean, that's some good traits that he's helped instill in you.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I appreciate that. You know, now that we're raising kids, you know what I mean? Totally. Like, I appreciate that. Like, I can't even tell you how much. That's definitely something that I think me and my brother both got, just that work ethic of, you know, just get it done and do what you got to do to get it done. And I think that's helped me out a lot, you know, supporting my family and things like that. But that's, you know, with him, man, he's 60, so I don't know, 64 or 5, I forget.
Yeah,
and he could work me under the table still. You know what I mean? It pisses me off, but I mean, you know what I mean? The guy just goes and
then trash talk you.
Yeah,
come on, real man can do it, but all we got is you.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, you bag of donuts.
Make me feel like a piece of shit while he's kicking my ass. You know? No, but and I look up to that. I'm thinking in my head like, God damn, you know, like, the guy just goes and he knows no different. You know what I mean? And I 100% appreciate and just you know.
So what about at work? You work at the refinery in Brescia, Concord, or I forget.
It's Rodeo.
Rodeo. How is that like? So here's why I'm asking this. Let me give you a little context actually first.
Okay.
So when people go and they get sober, and even in my own experience, getting sober, making some changes, and then they got to go back to work and transition back into, this new person, this new kind of lifestyle. You got a lot of responsibilities. Obviously work is one of the main ones for people who have families. So like, how did you kind of transition back into work? Like, was it hard? Was there anything that you would do over? Anything, any kind of thoughts on that?
If I'm being honest, man, I was excited to get back to work
really?
after I quit drinking. Yeah.
Good, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
I was, because that's like, if I go back to what I was saying, but about the anxiety and the drinking and all that, it was brought on by work because, when you go out there, it's no joke. You do have a lot of responsibility, and it's, it's sink or swim. You know what I mean? Like if you're not cutting it, they're gonna pretty much tell you. And so when I got sober and knew that wasn't gonna kind of get in my way anymore of me being able to perform out there, I was pumped, man. I was ready to go back and
not wake up hungover, having to go in feeling all shitty.
Yeah, it just felt great, because you're on, when you first quit, man, you're just, man, that feeling is just great. What do they call it? There's the
pink cloud. Yeah. I remember that.
So you just feel great. So that's what I remember. I remember waking up and being like, man, dude, I'm not hungover. Like, let's go. Yeah, you know what I mean? I was ready to get back and get into it. And then, that went away after a while because then it's work and you're like, fuck,
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
That's hella funny.
But no, I was excited, man.
What about cravings? Do you still get, after a year, that's some like pretty common questions I hear from people too. Like, am I supposed to have, is that normal? Cause like I used to get mad at myself when I, like in the first, year, 2 years, like, man, why are you feeling like that? You shouldn't. And then I finally realized like, it's pretty normal to have those cravings, especially if you get stressed out or whatever. And kind of learn to just like acknowledge them and then let them go. You know what I mean? Like, right. Have you experienced those cravings, where you just want to jump, man, I wish I could drink right now. You know what I mean? Like the sporadic ones. How do you deal with those?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't, you know what I mean? How do I deal with them? Remind myself that I'll be feeling like shit if I drank,
Pretty simple.
Yeah. I mean, the hangover is the worst part of drinking, right? Yeah. That's the shittiest thing. And at any time I do get a craving or if we're out somewhere with, friends or family and people are drinking, it's just a reminder of I'm able to think back on certain occasions and when I've been an idiot, and unfortunately, man, my kids did see me, especially my oldest did see me a few times be a complete drunk, you know what I mean? And that was one of my biggest regrets. You know what I mean? It's I look back on it now and I think to myself like, man, I hope I stopped when they were young enough, so it's something that it's not totally instilled in their head that's how dad is, and I hope when they get older, they can kind of realize, man, my dad was able to stop, cause I would kind of argue that you could even turn that into, somewhat of a positive, even, he saw that, right? Whatever he saw that you're referring to a couple times, but he also saw the fact that his dad stepped up and made a change. You know what I'm saying? Right. And once he gets older, he will realize that and he will see that, which, you kind of hope that like, okay, that's what they're going to focus on. You know what I mean? Is seeing that, man, change is possible. My dad did it, like whether it's in any subject, you know what I'm saying? Right. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. That's what I hope that he sees that, for most all I did it for me cause it needed to be done, but they were the big driving point. You know what I mean? 100%. But yeah, when I do get those cravings, I think of stuff like that, like how it affects my family, how it affects my wife, my kids, definitely the hangover feeling, man, that just keeps coming back in my head. Cause that's the just feeling like shit sucks, man.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
Such a waste of like a day too, or 2 or 3 days, depending on how hard you went.
No shit, right? Like I would drink hella hard on Friday night and then wake up and continue on to Saturday, and I'd like stop at like, I don't know, 5 o'clock, right? Thinking, okay, I'm not going to drink Sunday, and then for Monday I'll be chill to going to work. Man, I was still fucking hungover on Monday.
Shit coming out of your pores.
Yeah, dude, and not being able to eat and just I don't know, man. I don't miss it for nothing. That's not worth it to me.
So at one point, I pulled up to my work and I puked in my mouth, and then I swallowed it and then went back into work. And as I was walking in, I was like, I think I might have a problem. Like fucking brilliant, right? What was that moment like? Was there a specific moment that you remember where you were like, damn, like this is like for real, and I might need to really consider like what the fuck's going on? You know?
Yeah. So it was the night. I know you remember it well because you were there. The night it was, let's see. Oh, it was New Year's.
Okay.
So it's not like it was my resolution to quit drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It just kind of happened.
We were just going hard that night, and the demons were strong in my head that night, man. It was something where I was fighting with myself, and just something happened where it was just not good, just not a good situation. Yeah. And I got home somehow, and I was by myself, and I was just sitting there thinking, this is it. I got to fix this. Yeah. Because I'm either going to end up dead or in prison or in jail or something. You know what I mean? And and so I ended up calling my brother and kind of telling him, laying into him kind of, hey, this is, and I was a mess, man. I was a mess. And my brother lives out of town, so he called you. And even the funny thing is, dude, is even at that point, you were a phone call away and right down the street. But it was just, even when at the point of like, okay, I need to get
like pure desperation,
desperation. Yeah. It was still too, and I love you, but it was still too real to call you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I were to call Shane, it's still too real. Yeah. You know what I mean? But my brother, because everyone knows that I had it,
Yeah, that's what's funny is like you think that, and I'm not just saying you in particular, like anyone who struggles with this shit, like we think that nobody knows, you know what I mean? Right. It's like everybody fucking knows if you got a problem pretty much.
Well, yeah. It's you telling yourself you don't.
Exactly, bro. That's what's so crazy about it. It just fucks with your mind. Yeah. It's such a mindful. But anyways, go ahead, man.
No.
You called Joe.
I called Joe, and then he was kind of like, I'm coming over right now. So he had called you.
Oh, yeah. I think we were on a 3-way call at one point. It's like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. It was early, dude. I remember that.
Yeah, I was a hot mess, man. Yeah. And so I hear a knock on the door, and I think it's Joey, and then that's when you came in, and then that's just I opened the door, and I was like, oh shit, and I was happy to see you.
Were you?
Yeah, like I was like, good, okay, dude. This is what needs to happen. You know what I mean? And then we had our conversation at the table where I think I was still pretty fucked up, but I was pretty much telling you like, look, dude.
You laid it all out. Yeah. You were exhausted and you were done. Like straight up. And I knew you were serious about it that time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Not that there was a time before, but like I just knew that you were serious. I could tell that, like we talk about bottoms, and when you hit a bottom and when you're desperate and that there is like you can tell when somebody's and I could 100% tell that you were ready. Which I was very happy about. I'm proud of you for like stepping up and just fucking saying, dude, I can't do this shit anymore, you know?
And I know we've talked about it too, but I want to just say this because that when I did let it all out and told you everything and, basically told you, look, I got a problem with drinking. Yeah. Like the whole nine, that weight that just came off when you just basically are able to just tell someone that other than, battling it in your head and just like tell someone like, this is for real. That weight, when it lifted off just at that moment it felt good. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you feel like, all right, dude, I'm on the right path to bettering my life. You know what I mean? And then
that's what's funny. And cause I experienced 100% the same exact thing. I've talked about it on the show many times. Like I literally felt the shit float off of my shoulders. Yeah. Although that's not to say like, cool, everything's great, my life's all great because I just quit drinking. Right. It's just like I knew there was a long path ahead and there was a lot of work to do and there was a lot of amends to make and change and all that stuff. But like you said, dude, it's such a good point. Like to someone out there who's really struggling, like when you admit that shit and you finally just say, fuck it. Like, I didn't care what anyone thought. Like, I'm just all in. I hurt so bad. And I know that God has something more for my life and my family's life. I don't fucking care. Yeah. I'm done. And dude, like literally that weight, dude, just fucking gone, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a good feeling, man.
Then Joey got there.
Yeah. Yeah. So
like
then,
shortly after that.
Yeah. Joey showed up, and then, like, again, it was a little cloudy, but I remember I think you took me to a meeting. Mm-hmm. You said, hey, there's a meeting at 6 or something. And I'd been up all night, and
we went to the early morning.
Yeah. We went to the meeting, and then, that meeting, like I said, I was still kind of fucked up. So I was there. I knew I was there for a reason, but I was just like, battling just in my head. You had
some anxiety and stuff, if I remember. Well, still.
Because that next day, so we went to the 6 o'clock one. Then I went home, I slept a little bit, and then you were like, we're going later that day to the evening one.
Got it. Okay.
And so I woke up, and I remember thinking in my head, like, damn, dude, I do not want to go to this.
Hella classic, dude. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think I even texted you and was like, man, I'm hella tired.
I think you did.
Like shit.
Yeah.
And you called me and you're like, hey, that's cool. All right, but we're going.
I do remember that. Didn't you try to get up and like go outside or leave or something too? And I was like, nah, just stay here.
Yeah, that was during the meeting. I looked at you. I was like, I had the massive like anxiety sweats, dude. I was sitting there just fucked up. And I looked at you. I was like, hey, dude, I don't feel that good. And you were like, yeah, it's almost over, man. You're good. You're just good. Just chill. And I'm like, fuck. And I didn't even get mad at you. I knew what you were doing. You know what I mean? I was just like, but that was it, man. That was right then, that second meeting when you walk out of those meetings, man, you feel better. In the beginning, you just feel real good, man. It's a good feeling. You're on the right path.
Even when you don't want to go.
Yeah.
I've never been to a meeting afterwards and been like, that fucking don't get me wrong. Not every meeting is the same. And there are some boring meetings out there, no doubt. But like, it's never a bad feeling when you leave, you know? It is sometimes hard to get to meetings, you know what I mean? And you can make up all excuses, but like every time I've showed up, I'm always glad I did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you always learn. I mean,
I always hear one thing at least.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to get at. That some of the stories kind of get long in the tooth, and sometimes they might blend together, and you're like, man, I feel like I just heard that one. But you learn to just take little things here and there, and that kind of helps, with that out. But that was funny, man. That was a funny experience. I remember that, sitting there being like, fuck, I felt like I was going to puke.
Yeah.
Because I was hungover still. But then my anxiety kicked in, so I was sweating my ass off.
I remember.
That was the worst.
I remember knowing too, oh man, he feels like shit right now. But like, I'm glad that like you did stay, because I think what that does in that moment is it shows you, and anybody I'm saying, it will show you that like, you can get through stuff if you stick it out, and if you show up, and you know what I'm saying? Like it sets a tone for moving forward, moving ahead, Yeah.
And even the feeling when you're done with it, man, the feeling of accomplishment, you know what I mean? Even the little things, man, like sitting through a meeting, and when you walk out, you're like, okay, that was good. Or reading a couple pages in the book, or, whatever your thing is, to help you with it. But even coming over here, I wanted to do it. I think I texted you. I was like, dude, what did I say? I'm super nervous, super pumped, but I want to fucking do it, you know? And then, even coming over here, I was like, this isn't really I'm not a big, go out, and I don't like people listening to me, talking or whatever. But I was like, that result when we're done, that feeling, that I'm going to get when we're done, of like, all right, I accomplished this. And maybe what I am saying, someone else will pick up and it'll trigger in them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because
that's what it's about, dude.
Yeah. Because
that's something that I've kind of learned along the way with like the podcast, with meetings, with just talking to people in general. I mean, it usually comes up that I'm sober, right? Like a lot of the time. And one of the things that I've kind of learned along the way is kind of just what you were saying. Like it's nice to like hear stories, and it's nice to, to get perspective and stuff too. But I've really realized like maybe by me sharing, somebody needs to hear that. Like, it's okay for me to to speak into people too, to share my experience and stuff. And that helps. And that is like kind of full circle for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
100%.
that's it's just like an extra bonus almost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're giving back, you're of service, you know, and that's a big part of the recovery thing, you know, and staying sober yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know back when I was drinking still, I would listen to your podcast every now and when I was fighting with myself, trying to, convince myself I wasn't an alcoholic, and I would listen and I'd be like, oh, that's not me. That ain't me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then, I knew, man, fuck. And like, I think I told you this, and I do remember this from that night when I told you, I was like, I envy what you have and what you have with your family. Like I wanted that.
Scoot up a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wanted that, what I mean? So bad. I wanted that relationship with, my wife, with my kids, just that life that I wanted so bad, but I couldn't because alcohol was just in the way. You know what I mean? It was something that, like I said before, I was powerless over. And it just, it feels good to have that out of the way. You know what I mean? Now there's other things now, you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the thing, dude. I know. And that's so it's like, some people will think like, oh man, yeah, I just get sober and then fucking my life just magically changes. Like, no, like you just got to deal with life and you don't have a tool to rely on to escape anymore. Like you have to fucking deal with shit, you know? And we still have ways that we, or tools that we use sometimes. Like some are healthy, some are not. Like I still chew sometimes, like you chew. Like I like exercise, dude. I like getting out and fucking getting active. Like that's, so you can kind of go both ways, like using things to cope or deal with life,
Yeah, for sure. I was listening to, I like where Seth's at, man. I was listening to your guys' show, that you had him on last week, or I think, and I was listening to that. That was a good show, dude. That was a really good one. And, I like where he's at with what, I wish I could learn and have the mindset to do that. Maybe it'll come, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I really, that meditation is what really pulls me in. I think we've talked about this before too. I really like that. It's something I really want to get into. And
you should look at Refuge, dude. Refuge Recovery. I think Seth talked a little bit about it. But
yeah.
It's Noah Levine. He's written a few books. I actually think I have a couple of them right here. Where is it here? Here's one. This is the one Jess bought me when I got out of treatment.
Okay.
I think I have 2 copies of that. You can probably keep that one if you like. It's it's a 12-step, but it is it's based on more Buddhist principles, and so a lot of meditation. The Dharma. He's an old punk rocker, cool ass dude. Seth and I went to see him and a friend of ours, TJ Woodward, out in San Francisco a few years ago. And that, I think Seth talked about it on the podcast maybe. And it was episode 355, by the way, for those listening. It was a great conversation. Seth's a good homie. And that kind of set him, he said, on a path to just, and of course with his mom and stuff too, being into yoga. And so there was a connection, I think, there too.
Yeah.
But man, dude, like meditation, prayer, being able to calm ourselves down, and it's just so helpful with the anxiety, with stress, all that stuff, man. And it definitely helps,
Yeah, I think so. I've dabbled in the meditation.
It's hard, huh?
It is. It's tough, man. But if you can get a good 10 minutes in, I feel like
huge.
and it feels real good. You know what I mean? And that helped a little bit with the anxiety. When I was drinking, still I was trying to. Okay, it's not the alcohol. Let me just try to meditate a little bit. But it just feels real good. Just about 10 minutes and just kind of get in your own head and then I don't know, what I do is I just kind of clear it all, and just my attempt is to just kind of think of where I'm at right now in that moment, you know what I mean? And
in the moment, bro, it's so huge.
And that
my boner.
If I can
sorry, always got to have a boner comment in every podcast, another thing I just thought of that I'll give a little plug for, and I'll send you this right now, is my sponsor created Sober Meditations.
You told me about
it's the
this.
app. I'm going to send it to you right now. Okay. And I've gotten a lot of good feedback from it. A lot of people like it. And Buddy's from Georgia too, so he's got a real thick Southern accent. It's cool when he does the meditations. And he does a really good job too. He's gone through all the steps and everything. And it's pretty good. Here, let me send this over right now. Sober Meditations. Yeah. So what else is up, dude? What else? Nothing. What else is going down? Nothing.
I'm going back to work tomorrow after
that's right.
Yeah. I had my what is it, maternity leave, I guess, or bonding leave. That's what it is.
Your child bonding leave.
Hey, call it what it is. I'll take it.
Hell, you know yeah. I mean? Well, your ass works sometimes like 7 days a week, 12, because you're at the refinery. So what do they call it? Turnarounds?
Yeah, if we do turnarounds or shutdowns or things like that, then it's 7 12s, 13 on, 1 off.
Damn, bro. Yeah. Hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, it's it'll get to you a little bit for sure. Yeah. So when I think I get, so with this bonding leave, I get 8 weeks and I can split it up throughout the year. You know what I mean? So when Emma was born on the 9th, so I took some time off in the beginning and go back to work tomorrow, back to the grind. So that's what's new, man. But I'm honestly, you know, I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm looking forward to getting back into the routine of, you know, because man, when being home is rough, you know.
Oh yeah.
At night it's not so bad, you know. You can kind of do what you want, get some Call of Duty in, you know, whatever. You know what I mean?
Fucking nerd, you nerd. Playing your fucking games, Gary.
If I can sneak into the back room without Karina calling me a nerd.
Dude, that story is one of the funniest stories I think I've ever heard, bro.
Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking nerd. Bam! Slams the door. Hey, if that didn't make me think like, what the fuck am I doing right now?
With your headset on, just playing some Call of Duty.
And everyone's on there. Who was that? Oh, nothing. I couldn't mute
nothing.
It. You know?
I don't know. It's the TV.
Was that your mom? Yeah.
Hold on, my hot pockets, they're getting cold.
Fucking nerd.
Oh,
that one hit home, man. I was like, damn, am I a fucking nerd? I didn't get off this shit.
Dude, Call of Duty though is that's like my new addiction, man. It's such a fun game, and like I don't even have a PS4, but if I did, I know I'd be playing that shit,
man,
all the time because it's freaking fun.
Dude, this guy at work, I was talking with him about it, and I shit you not, he goes, yeah, I had to stop playing, man. I was about to get a divorce over that shit. And I'm like,
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, man, but it's just something about getting in there. And you know, I'll drink some yerba mate and I'll just go for like an hour or two. But yeah, so going back to that at nights, you know, I'll be able to stay up later than I normally do. But man, during the day, shit, once everything's clean, the yard's done, you know what I mean? The honeydews are all done. And I'm just like, fuck, well, what now? You know? And like you were saying about Billy, I kind of have that in me too, you know, like I can't sit still.
So does Jess, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, we need to go. Yeah. We need to go. Hold on. Hurry up.
That's what my brother says. He goes, you know, he's always got to do something before he does something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on, let's go. I got to go do this and then I got to go do that and blah, blah, blah. So,
hell yeah.
So I got that definitely. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the routine and getting back out there. But give it a week and then I'll be like, fuck.
Yeah. Then you're going to go back and use your leave.
Yeah,
again.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to take 2 weeks next week.
Weren't you just off? Yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, this sucks.
But I can stretch that shit out throughout the year, you know?
That's what's cool.
Yeah.
Dude. It is important, dude, to spend time with the family. Like, I'm all about working hard and working and stuff too, but like there has to be some sort of balance, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like like health-wise, like mental health-wise, you know?
Yeah.
Like our wives need our help sometimes, even though they want to tell us what to do and, you know, make sure we're doing it this way and that way and the right way.
Yeah.
You know,
my boss at my house.
Exactly.
No, but yeah, man, to be honest, I don't know. I mean, if anyone could, you know, Karina could, but I don't know how she would have done it. You know, if I'd have went back to work after a couple of days. I mean, shit, that's what we did with my first two. You know, I took a couple of days and shot back to work, but because I don't even know if they had that bonding leave shit back then when they were born. I can't remember, but you know, we were younger back then, had more energy. You know what I mean? But now
it was different
with Emma. Man, I'm glad I was there to help her out, and I do not envy her tomorrow when I go back to work. I even told her, I was like, I'm sorry, hon.
Oh, but,
you know.
It's a lot of work, dude. So I mean, like you were saying, the sleep thing. When we get, how old are you? 35.
I'll be 35 in a couple weeks. Actually,
Couple weeks. That's right. April 12th, right?
Yep.
That's it. So yeah, we start getting in our 30s. Like it changes a little bit, and then like Jess just turned 40. I'll be 40 this year. It's funny how like the life cycles, you can feel changes. Like I've been feeling a little bit old sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm like, dang, am I still cool? Like, what the hell, man? I'm just like, we got out of the car one day and Cash was hella, I think he was just joking around. He's like, oh, Dad, you're a dork. and I laughed at first and I'm like, hey, wait, am I really a dork?
Am I a dork?
Dude. Yeah. You start questioning. I'm fucking 40. What's going on, dude? I still wear Vans. I'm still cool. It's just like, dude, it's so crazy how fast life goes by,
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It is. You look at Cash and go, well, why am I a dork?
I asked him like 5 times, oh, did you really mean it, buddy? Am I a dork?
What is it? Is it my shoes?
And then you're just fucking pathetic right? At some point. Like, I'm asking my 6-year-old if I'm real. Like, do I really care if he thinks I'm a dork? I'm fucking 40. Yeah. Like, who cares,
No, yeah, fuck yeah. Karina hella calls me out all the time, every time. Like, we'll go into a store like that. Technically, I'm not sure if I should be at yet. Am I over the age? Am I under the age? Whatever. But I like the shit that's in there. So fuck it, Yeah. So we'll go in there and she'll be like, your whole persona just changes when you walk into like a Zoomies or a Tilly. And you're like, you're dropping bros and you're doing this. And I'm like, what? Fuck you. Funny. No, it doesn't. She's always the one to call me out, man. I love her to death.
I just thought of something else we're going to get called out on this right now.
Oh, great.
The cursing. Because the kids are going to want to, don't I listen to some of this? And but here's the thing.
Hey, man, you gave me free
This
reign.
is bro time right now. And this is what people have to understand. We have to get some of this stuff out so that we can take it not out into the family life or you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a good bro convo. So fuck you. Yeah. Just kidding.
Daddy, can I listen to it? No. We'll have to do one maybe edited one day. I don't know when, but in any case, yeah. Dude, this is fun, dude. I'm glad we're getting to chat about this stuff. And I'm glad to see you're sober too, bro. Like, seriously. It's a huge difference. Not that like you're a terrible person because you're drinking, but just there's a difference. Like, and that shit's poison. And it does something to us, and it all acts a little different in each person, I think, because we're all different. But like, it really can destroy like who we are as people. You know what I'm saying? In 100%. The long term, and some is more noticeable than others. And like you mentioned it earlier, it's a really good point. Like, we picture the person with the drinking problem or the drug problem as the homeless guy or girl in the doorway with the brown bag, and it's like, dude, the majority of people who struggle with like addiction or mental health fucking go to work every day. Mm-hmm. They're trying to take care of business. Like, when you look percentage wise, I don't have it up in front of me, but the majority of people are functioning people trying to live life who are really struggling. You know what I'm saying? And that's a hard thing to really like take a look at when you're in the mix of it all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm proud of you, bro, for like stepping up and getting after it, dude. And it's a huge difference in you, bro. Right on. Yep. I appreciate it, man. I got, you to thank for that. And you and Joe, man, you guys that night, that was huge for you guys stepping up, coming over at 3:00 in the morning. You know what I mean?
New Year's Eve, dude. Yeah. Or New Year's, I guess that would technically be New Year's Day. It's a good sobriety date for you too.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Is it? Cause I'm kind of mixed on it. Like if I like, it's easy to remember, you know what I mean? But then everyone's like, was it a resolution? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm like, nah, man, it wasn't. Not that there's anything wrong with that, not knocking that at all. But I don't know. I just feel like
it wasn't though at all. No, it was by complete fucking desperation.
Yeah,
bro.
It was.
Like,
it was definitely bottom for sure.
It was bottom, 100%. It had nothing to do with a resolution.
No, not that there's anything wrong with that. Man. If you want to make that your resolution,
there is. If you made a resolution, you suck.
No, not that. I didn't want to come off like that. But I don't know. I just I'm kind of mixed on that date, man. But it's easy to remember though. So
it definitely is easy to remember, and it's that was crazy, man. Crazy stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Damn, we're already in an hour.
Shut up, really?
Isn't it crazy? You start talking and having fun, dude, and it just rolls on by.
Hell yeah.
I can't believe I do this shit for a living sometimes.
Badass, dude. I'm so green with jealous rage right now, fucker.
That's fun, dude. This is going to be episode 357 of That Sober Guy podcast.
Yeah, that's badass.
Crazy, dude.
It's so awesome. It is.
It's pretty fun, dude. I love having these convos, dude, and it's really cool to get to do a podcast with you finally.
And you're helping people too. That's the good part.
Apparently, yeah, and it helps me stay sober, dude. I was just talking to my buddy Jeremy today, and he's like, you still doing the podcast? Like, yeah, still doing it, man. Helps me stay sober too. You know, he's like, thanks, dude. Helps me too. And so it's a win-win. You know,
yeah, 100%.
It's fun, bro. It really is.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing it, man. I really am. It's I can, it's just listening to like. There was a couple times I wouldn't even listen to him for, just for the entertainment. That is why I would listen to it, because it's funny as shit sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's what I hope, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, you do a good job, and you got that good podcast voice.
Podcast voice, come on down, man. I want to punch myself for even talking like that. Yeah, it's been pretty interesting little journey. I like having Jess on too. The Jess, everyone likes hearing from the Jess, dude. I get emails all the time about that. Yeah, because she's hilarious.
She is funny.
She put the smack down.
She definitely probably tells it exactly like it is.
Yep, she sure does. She had a day today. I was like, okay, you know what? We went and took lunch and took the kids over to La Borgata, got some sandwiches and shit, and sat outside for a minute, and she was just in one of the moods, Yeah. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Just don't talk to me anymore. I don't know. You have nothing nice to say to anybody. And she's like, yeah, you're right.
Hey, you know what though? Dude. Admitting it though,
she did. She owned it.
Hey, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah. Because right then it's over. Because if Karina and I are in something and they're like, you're right, then I'm like, all right, well, yeah, good. Then it's done. You know what I mean? But when when we really, her and I get into it, is when she'll deny it and be like, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, yes, you are. Yeah. And then that's the argument.
Then it goes on.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's funny about that too is like what getting sober and like working on how to deal with shit in life has helped me do is like, and I still do it sometimes. So don't get me wrong. I'm definitely ain't even close to perfect at it, but like I'm way better at not taking shit personal than I used to be, especially with Jess or like with work stuff. Like I can kind of like step back and go, okay, here's the situation. Like, let me look at it. Yeah, that happened. Initially, I want to like get pissed off about it or say why or whatever. But like, I'm able to like look at it from a perspective of like, okay, it's not really personal to me, and it doesn't eat me up like it used to, like shit would used to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. When do you get to that point?
It's all part of the process. And that's a good question. Like, I'm not even too like, I've never arrived or not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but like, I just feel myself along the way get a little bit better at stuff like that. Being able to pull back and just go like, okay, not my fucking problem. Yeah. Like that's on you, and we learned this shit. I learned it, or I heard it very, very early on, like counseling sessions, therapy, group therapy, like you hear it. But I guess the point to this would be like, this shit takes time. I'm never going to get to a point like where, and I'm not even talking about drinking. I'm just talking about life. Like you don't arrive, you don't know everything. Like one of the best things is just to be able to say, I don't fucking know. I don't know.
That's huge right there.
I'll find out. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Instead of trying to like have all the answers and have everything figured out. Like, dude, it's so exhausting. Like,
yeah, that's one thing right there that'll cause anxiety, man. Trying to have all the answers and have it all figured out. It's such a release to be able to be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, But I know what's happening right now. I'm doing a podcast with Gary, you know what I mean? Like in the moment.
In the moment.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, anyways, dude. Well, what do you think, bro? Anything else you want to add? Do we want to wrap this thing up? Do we want to tell some stories? What do you think? I'm going to burp. Oh, that was weak, Raymer. You're weak.
Weak ass burp.
A little better. Nope, not good.
I don't know, man. I just gotta, let's see what else. I would be upset if I didn't bring up how supportive, I gotta say about Karina because she's been in, our wives, both Jess and Karina, and anyone else who out there who's struggling, your significant other or whatever, they're in it too, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they're
huge.
They're with you side by side, and she she's stuck with me through all the bullshit. You know what I mean? And she's just, she's a champ, man. And you know, having her was part of me wanting to be a better person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having her there the whole time. And I'd be upset, or I'd be wrong if I said that she had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? She was there through thick and thin, and a big reason, you know, why, you know, I started to realize she was just way more mature than me. You know what I mean? That's what it was, man.
They always,
I mean? Like when we met, I was like, oh man, you know, she's this, she's that, she's great. And then I started to realize, like, dude, I'm a fucking kid, and I'm with this woman now. You know, she's my same age, but like, she's.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't know if you want to share this story, but it's fun. I think it's fucking hilarious when you broke your foot and she had to take you to the doctor.
Oh my God.
But you don't have to tell it if you don't want to,
cool.
but it's just fun. It really is a good point of, like you were saying, like you've matured along the way, but like at one point we're still immature fucks. Let's face it. Like a fart is hilarious, but
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, yeah. That story. So I was, I broke my foot. That was a drunk break there too. Yeah. I was fucking.
Didn't you like step up a curb or something?
Yeah. I was in fucking Davis, I think. We were out there, and me and a good buddy of mine, still buddies if I see him around today, we were both fucking drunk and started wrestling around, whatever, and I stepped off a curb, and I didn't just break my ankle, I like snapped it in half, like had to get
it was nasty.
This big ordeal, like an ambulance came. It was this whole fucking just a mess, man. Just
hella drunk.
Yeah, hella fucking. I mean, no, man, I don't want to go in this ambulance or whatever.
Can't even walk.
Yeah, I couldn't. I tried to get up, but I couldn't feel anything.
Well, your ankle was literally folded in half. It pretty much.
Yeah, and I was trying to walk like I'm fine, and whatever. It was fucking just bullshit. But so I was staying at my folks' house at the time, and I think Karina and I just started dating. And so she was coming by every now and again, and I remember I had a doctor's appointment, and I was like you said, I was an immature fucking, whatever.
This is pre-kid, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Before kids, I was like 20 something, right?
22, something like that. 22, I think. And so, like I was used to mommy taking me to the doctor just if I needed to go, or I don't know. And so when Karina came in and I was like, hey, I have this doctor's appointment. So, I'll call you when I get back, whatever. She's like, well, I could take you. And that was just a huge kind of like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? So like, funny. But what about, what's my mom going to do? Can she ride in the back? You know what I mean? It was kind of at that point where I was like, well, yeah, like what the fuck? Like, you're right. Yeah, let's roll. And then, I always tell the story where I told my mom like, hey, we're going to go, I try to play it off hella cool, like we're going to the doctor's, Karina's going to take me. And then my mom's like, oh, okay. I could see she was kind of like, what the hell?
It's my boy right there. Yeah. I'm taking him to the doctor.
Right. And that was just, I don't know, just one of those things where you kind of start to realize like, man, this is a woman I'm with. I better get my shit together. She's going to bounce. You know what I mean?
It's kind of funny though. Like, and I've heard, you've told this story before, and then I'm just thinking of it kind of from a new perspective. I had a little, I wouldn't call it incident, but some sentimental pictures that I were cleaning our garage out and stuff, and like I had this tub with some stuff in it, and I gave back to my mom, and I realized it, I don't know, did it hurt her feelings so much, or it was just kind of an awkward thing. We talked about it, whatever, but I'm just thinking of that, like even with your mom in that situation, us being parents now,
right?
I put myself in a parent's situation, and that would be hard, dude, to like have your baby, like your baby boy, baby girl, whatever, and having to like let go a little bit, you know what I mean? That's like a tough thing, bro. Like it's kind of back to that transition thing, I guess, in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with my mom, man, she's super close to all of us, what I mean? And
you're boys, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Joey's the favorite though. We all know that for sure. We all know. I mean, she's super close with all of us, but with Joey,
that's the running joke. It is. It's hilarious too. Joe eats it up. Joe's hilarious with it too.
Yeah.
He'll always make little comments and stuff too. It's freaking comedy. You guys are all funny, dude. Like, dude, getting around the table with all you guys, even like Papa and your mom and dad, everyone, of course, and then especially like just the brothers and sisters, just like you and Kelly and your brother and Jess. Movie quotes, just just like genuine love and fun, dude. That's like one thing I've learned the most from your guys' family is, dude, every family has bullshit, like no matter what. Everyone has different opinions and lives and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, like your guys' family loves each other so much, dude, and would do anything for one another. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a great thing, dude. I'm really happy to, like, I'm really fucking lucky,
well,
dude.
I wouldn't say your guys. I would say our family because you're
Oh
definitely.
yeah, you're right. Thank you.
You know
bro.
what I mean?
Yeah,
you shouldn't
you're
say
right.
your guys.
Yeah.
You've been in it long
But I just
enough,
mean
bro.
like, you know what I'm saying. But yes, I am a part of your family, dude, and it's our family together for sure, dude. And it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, but it is. It's we can. I mean, we don't mean to, but we can come off kind of loud and intimidating.
Italian and Irish and
all
totally.
the bad ones, all the loud ones.
Definitely loud. Yep, definitely loud. I have to tell Jess, I'm like, hey, can you? I'm not deaf. I'm right in front of you right now.
Right.
It's just like, yeah, whatever.
No, but we can come off like that. But man, and we always say too, like if you can sit at the table with us and you can hang, as far as not having kind of thick skin and being able to come back at us with the bullshit we say to you, we love it, man. We know it's all about having fun and laughing. That's the thing too. Like drinking was always part of that situation too. And I don't know if you've noticed this too, but the family's kind of transitioned a little bit.
Yeah.
My brother, I think when I stopped, I think he stopped too,
Yeah, actually you're right. He did, huh?
Yeah.
He mentioned that to me at his wedding, actually, I think.
Yeah.
So he has around the same time you do, right? Of not drinking, at least.
I think so. He's
pretty
if not,
close.
he's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
it's a different kind of dynamic than it used to be. And I think as we all get older and different things start to mean different things, you know what I mean? Stuff kind of changes. I have noticed that a little bit though. Yes.
Yeah. And it's I don't know. It's fun, man. Not saying it's funner because we had great times. You know what I mean? Like not saying this one's better than the other or whatever, but it's changing a little bit. And we're still cracking jokes at the table. That hasn't changed for sure, but I think it's just better with the little ones running around, I'm not over there taking Crown Royal shots.
Tequila. Come take a shot. Hell yeah. Getting hammered.
Yeah.
Getting hammered, bro.
Yeah. And then Karina turns the corner. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, I shouldn't do that. She was right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. They usually are.
Yeah.
Jess's is Shane. Shane. It's hella funny.
And then we both look. What?
Yeah, what? I wasn't even doing it. Hella immature and stupid. Fucking boys.
Yep.
Good stuff, dude.
Right on.
Well, good stuff, man. Thanks for coming on the podcast, bro. Always good times. I have a feeling we'll do it again another time. Now that you kind of see what it's about and it's not as anxiety ridden as it probably. That's like with anything. It's the anticipation of doing whatever it is you're doing is always worse than actually doing it.
100%.
Yeah.
That's
unless it's like diarrhea or something. That usually sucks.
Yeah. No, that's that. We could edit out the first 10 minutes when I was super nervous. And
no, that's why I just called you on it and just said you're a little nervous right now because it's better just to get it out, and it was fine, bro. I mean, it's whatever. It's we had a good time, bro. Good convo.
I did. I had a great time. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yep. Also, if anyone wants to holler at you, you have Instagram, right?
I do, yeah.
What is it? I'm going to put it in the links right now.
GJ Matthews 86. That's what.
Okay, hold on. At GJ Matthews, 2 T's, by the way.
Yeah.
GJ Matthews 86.
And I don't go on there too much, but if you want to talk or chat or whatever, hit me up. I'll see what I can do.
All right, I'm just putting this in the little link here. Let's see. On Instagram, baby. All right, cool. There it is. All right, G Money, Gary Matthews. I love you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. I'm super proud of you, and thanks for coming on the podcast today, dude. Good stuff.
Right on. Thanks for having me on, man. Love you too.
Thanks for tuning in today. If you haven't joined up on Locals yet, please do so. You can go find it on the App Store. Links in the show notes as well. Hope something spoke to you today. If it did, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Peace, love, and respect to keep your blood clean.